welcome back to my channel. Now, my guess is that the reason why you watch my videos is probably because you're trying to become more successful, and maybe a part of that is building an audience on social media or a readership for your blog, getting subscribers for your YouTube channel so that you can somehow share your message with people and maybe share a product or a service that you offer with them also. Or maybe you just want to create awesome content and get sponsorship deals. But whatever the reason why you want to grow your audience is, you might have a question on your mind. And that question might be that you wonder how big your audience needs to be before you'll be able to successfully launch a product to your audience, or get your first real sponsorship deal, or be able to support yourself full time from the money that you make via social media. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the math of exactly how many followers you need in order to be able to support yourself full time, and also how many followers you should have before you try to launch your first product or get your first sponsorship. But I'm also going to be sharing with you my favorite way to figure out whether or not you're ready. It's more intuitive, but it actually can be even more accurate. Okay, so first of all, just to make sure we're on the same page, let's just clarify the two main ways that you can make income from followers. The first one is with sponsorships. So this is where you're selling other people's products, essentially. You have a company who is paying you to advertise their product for them. And then the other way that you can turn your audience into income is by selling something yourself. So this might be a course that you created or a service that you offer, but you're going to be advertising something that you're offering yourself. Okay, so now that we're on the same page and we know how you might be turning your audience into income, let me first share with you my favorite way for figuring out whether or not you're ready yet and for knowing when you are ready. Here's how it works. When you first start putting out content on your blog or on social media, you will hear crickets. Absolutely no one will comment, no one will DM you, you'll ask people questions and they won't answer, and it can be a little bit disheartening. Now, you might still be in that phase or you might be past that, but either way, what comes next is that people start to respond to you a little bit, sporadically. Sometimes you'll get some comments, sometimes people will answer your questions. It's not consistent yet, but you know there's people out there now. And then as you continue to consistently put out content and as the quality of your content gets better and better, you find that your audience not only grows, but also becomes much more responsive. They start to consistently engage with the content that you're putting out there, and they'll start to answer your questions and reply to your emails. And it's at that point, the point when you start to consistently hear back from your audience, when you ask them a question and they answer, when you're able to consistently engage them in a dialogue, that's when you know that you're ready to be able to have your first successful product launch or to get your first successful sponsorship. Now, the reason that I use the word successful here and not just say, now you can launch your first product or get your first sponsorship, is because it's entirely possible for you to launch a product before that or even to sign a sponsorship deal. However, it's more likely than not that if you do it before then, you probably won't make hardly any sales, or your sponsorship partner might not be very happy because you might not be able to drive very much traffic to their product. So that's why I recommend that you wait until that point when your audience is really responding to you on a consistent basis. And the reason that I recommend that you wait until you get to that point is because once you are consistently getting that response from your audience, once you're able to actually engage them in a dialogue, that is proof that there are real people who are consuming your content and there are people who are actually interested in the topic that you're talking about and the information that you're sharing. And then let's take this a step further and talk about when you'll be able to support yourself full time from your social media audience. As I said before, you're ready to launch your first product or get your first sponsorship deal when your audience is consistently responding to you. Well, you're ready to go full time with your business when your audience starts reaching out to you without you asking them questions, when they start using that contact form on your website to reach out to you, or when they start just emailing you out of the blue, or when they start DMing you every single day, or asking you questions in the comments on your YouTube videos or on your Instagram posts. Now, I know that right now you might not be getting any of that. People might not be commenting on your videos or on your Instagram posts or on your blog. They might not be asking you any questions at all or even answering your questions. But that's okay. That just means that you're at the beginning stages of the process, but now you know what to work towards. Now you know what your objective is, so you can actually use your content to work towards that objective and to get people to engage more and more and more so that you get to that point a lot more quickly. All right, so as I said before, that is my absolute favorite way to be able to figure out whether or not you're ready now and to know when you are ready in the future. However, I also want to give you some numbers so that you have a general idea of what you're shooting for in terms of a number that you need to reach before you're probably going to be able to support yourself. And the reason I want to share these numbers with you is because if I just say you need to wait until your audience is talking back to you, then you might say, well, when will that be? I have 1,000 followers now. Will that be at 2,000 followers, or will that be at 10,000 or 100,000 or a million? And it can be tough to have no idea like that, and so I want to give you some ballpark idea of what you're shooting for. But I also have to say that the reason why it's so much better to base this decision on your audience's interaction is because there's a wide range of numbers that your audience needs to be at in order to be able to support you. There are plenty of content creators out there who support themselves full-time with only 5,000 or 10,000 followers, and then there are other people who have millions of followers and struggle to pay their bills. And that's mostly because the interaction and the engagement isn't there, which is why that's the most important metric that we actually want to use. But like I said, I want to give you some numbers, so let's get into that. Okay, so first let's talk about the numbers of followers that you need if you're going the sponsorship route. So if you're going to be advertising other people's products and the companies are going to be paying you to advertise their products. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, sponsorship rates vary a lot from platform to platform. The two most popular platforms for sponsorships to happen on are Instagram and YouTube. And according to a 2018 article by Buffer, the average rate for a sponsorship deal on Instagram is $10 per 1,000 followers that an account has per post. So if an account had 1,000 followers, then a company might be willing to pay an average of about $10 for one post promoting their product. Or if the account had 10,000 followers, then a company might be willing to pay $100 to sponsor a post. And according to that same Buffer article, the average sponsorship rates on YouTube are almost exactly double that of Instagram. So for every 1,000 subscribers that a YouTube channel has, most companies are willing to pay an average of about $20 per sponsored video. Now, with that being said, the more targeted your followers are and the more engaged they are, the higher of a sponsorship rate companies will be willing to pay, because if your audience is more targeted and if they're more engaged, you are most likely to be able to produce much better results for the company that you're advertising for. Now, let's just do a tiny bit of math here. Based on those average sponsorship rates of $10 per 1,000 followers on Instagram and $20 per 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, in order to support yourself full-time on Instagram, if you did 4 sponsored posts per month, you would need 100,000 followers. And that's because with 100,000 followers, each sponsored post would bring in an average of about $1,000. So if you did 4 per month, then you'd be bringing in $4,000 per month. And obviously that's not millions of dollars, you wouldn't be wildly wealthy, but in most areas that would be plenty to support yourself full-time. And then to apply almost exactly the same math on YouTube, if you wanted to earn $4,000 a month and do 4 sponsored videos, then each video would need to be worth $1,000, and you would need 50,000 YouTube subscribers in order to get that amount of money per sponsored video. Okay, so now let's talk about the math that would apply if you're selling your own product. So if you run a service-based business, or if you sell online courses or some sort of physical product, how many subscribers, how many followers would you need in order to support yourself that way? Well, obviously this depends a lot on how much you actually sell your product for. If you're selling a $10 product and you wanted to make $50,000 a year, you would need to sell 5,000 units per year, which would work out to about 100 units per month. On the other hand, if you are earning $100 per sale, then you would need to sell 500 units per year, which works out to an average of 10 sales per week. And then finally, if you're selling something at a premium price point of $1,000 per unit, you would need to make just 50 sales per year in order to make $50,000, which would work out to an average of 1 sale per week. Now, if you thought that was a lot of math, then watch out, because we're about to get even nerdier with this. So typically it's possible to turn 5,000 views on YouTube into an average of about 50 to 250 leads. And those leads can then be converted into 1 to 25 sales. So depending on the price point of the product that you're selling, your channel might need to get anywhere between about 20,000 views per month all the way up to about 500,000 views per month. And in terms of subscribers, you'll need a minimum of between 10 and 50,000 subscribers. Now, of course, this is assuming that you're doing a decent job converting those views into leads and converting those leads into sales. Because if you don't tell people about your product in your videos or about your company, and you don't encourage people to find out more about it, and you don't sell your product to them, then you won't make any money at all. So assuming that you're doing a decent job of marketing your product, you'll need somewhere between 10 and 50,000 subscribers in order to support yourself full time. Okay, so at this point, we've probably done more math than you even wanted to do, but now you know the reality of how many followers, how many subscribers, how many views you need in order to be able to support yourself full-time from your audience. Now, if you want to learn more about how to grow your audience and how to turn your audience into income, then first of all, make sure you subscribe to my channel because I make 2 videos here on YouTube all about entrepreneurship, success, and personal development. And I talk a whole lot about how to grow your audience on social media, how to get more traffic to your website, and how to actually sell your products and make a profit doing something you love. And then beyond that, I'll recommend to you a specific video that I think you'd probably find really interesting. And that's a video I made really recently called How I Earn $220,000 per year with my YouTube channel. So if you want to see exactly how I monetize my audience, then make sure you check the description box down below and find the link to that video because I break it all down. All right, well, that is everything I've got for you today. I know it was a lot. If you have any questions about it, hit me up down below. I always try to answer all the questions in the first 24 hours or so after the video comes out because I definitely want to get you all the answers that you need. As I'm sure you noticed, this video was a tiny bit different than normal. I've rearranged my office a little bit and I'm filming it slightly differently. If you liked those changes, make sure you hit the like button, or if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and comment down below and tell me if this was better than normal or if you liked the old style better. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing week and I look forward to seeing you again next time.